I'm not sure, sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. I was saddened by her denial and felt a little bit of anger. I am their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Though I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse thing from me. But if everyone's worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's what it's meant to be friends, right? For a moment I wondered just what kind of face I was making just then, with these mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance.
Keiichi-kun, you're making a scary face. Why is it? Why?
It was probably exactly the kind of face Rena said it was. It appeared my grim expression had frightened her. Sorry, I was really looking forward to the club today and just feeling down a bit about it. I rustled Rena's hair. Let's go home. Dragging that awkward mood with us, we headed home. Oh my god, I think it's... Fuck it, I'm gonna continue. I'll record a fourth part within this recording then. Just for this one scene, if anything. I wonder why. Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? I didn't know anything. I had nothing to worry about. I was just enjoying my everyday life. But then I wish San had to show up and tell him about all this shit, and now he's like, well, that's all he can freaking mind is focused on. My long, outstretched shadow gave no answer to my naive inquiry.
Keiichi-kun, are you tired, maybe?
Rena timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made the situation even more unsettling. You think so?
Yeah, you seem to have been a little out of it ever since the morning. Maybe a cold?
Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. May not seem like it, but I've had perfect attendance since elementary school. Rena continued on since I didn't give her an answer.
It could be that the fatigue from moving has finally caught up to you. It's completely different from where you used to live, after all. Of course you've gotten tired, since there's so much you need to get used to and remember, and the cat wants to go out of the room, so I'll be right back.
Where were we? Oh yes, plot. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, it has to be.
You know, the more I look at it, the more I think this is probably the art style that I'd originally seen back in the day. But at the same time, I'm not entirely sure. Well, I'll be able to confirm soon enough anyway here with this scene.
It has to be. And it was also like that at first too. I can tell, you know. I speak in first person sometimes.
I wonder if Rena also experienced a slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Well, I'd imagine it'd be even weirder, like, if you say move from a city into a village, but then again, it could also be the same if you move from a rural area to the city. Thinking so, I felt that she was the only one who could understand how I felt. I'd like to hear about when you first came to Hinamizawa. How was it? Feeling I had certainly been drawn into the conversation, her face suddenly brightened.
It was the same as Keiichi-kun. I didn't know the villagers' names at all. Michan and the rest were all very kind, so I wasn't lonely, but I did still feel a little out of place.
Rena told me all the details of when she had moved here. Well, that's about time, and I remember when he tried to get her to talk about that ages ago, quite a while back. Now he's finally getting to know about it. All of our first acquaintances and surprises, worries and good times. So, Satoka got you too?
Yeah, there was a fun sack put on my chair. Poke, then with that that really takes me back.
When and were you invited into the club? The first day?
There wasn't a club at the beginning. It was formed partway through. One day she said we should stay after and hold a big game tournament.
Come to think of it, Mion did say she was the first club president. Now I get it.
The secret, but Michan used to be really bad at the beginning. She'd never win.
Ah? Mion? Really? Can't even imagine that.
She had to do most of the penalties that she came up with. Seriously, don't tell.
I can't believe Mion was like that. so she gradually transformed into a monster who used any means necessary to win during that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty.
I began making more friends besides Michan after that, but yeah, it might have only been since you moved here, but I had finally thought that I had gotten used to it here.
I guess Rena has also been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama when she had just moved here. I guess when they finally told me about Oyashiro-sama, I'd be considered one of them. When they finally... I wonder when I'll finally be considered one of them.
Huh? Did you say something?
Oh, sorry. Just talking to myself.
Keiichi-kun, you're silly.
Rena was poking fun and laughing at me, and I couldn't help but laugh as well. I suddenly stopped. Then, after making up my mind, I spoke. Hey, Rena. The music stopped. What's going on? Serious now. Is there something that everybody is keeping from me?
Huh? No, not at all.
You're lying, aren't you? Rena suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense.
What do you mean by that? Keiichi-kun.
Her tone was still the same cheery and light-hearted one as before.
You are, aren't you?
Oh wait, you are, aren't you? Keeping something from me. After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash. But she came back at me in a way I didn't expect.
Well then, Keiichi-kun, aren't you keeping something from us?
Just I don't know. This is what I was waiting for. It's like, is this like the scene that, like, because I remember these eyes when they change, but I don't know if it's the same look from when I played it years ago or not. You know what? That's a curiosity I haven't checked in a while, isn't it? Where to be configured? Yeah, I think the updated art style gives the creepier vibes. Because, like, even without the eyes going like that, the original art style. Yet again, I've never actually played through it all with the original art style. Man, those eyes are creepy as fuck. The tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Rena. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Rena. Aren't you lies or secrets? Aren't you? You are secrets. She didn't actually say that part, but she looked as if she did. Oh wait.
Aren't you? Lies or secrets? Aren't you?
The instant with Tomitaka-san, and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, there were things I knew that I felt guilty about. But I didn't tell everyone about that, what had happened with Tomitaka-san, to be considerate. I was keeping the secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Oyashiro-sama. Then, aren't we even? Oh, and no lies, no secrets.
Sutsuki.
Her answer was instant and it shook me. Rena stared as if buttering through me, watching me like a hawk. Why would you say I'm lying?
Didn't you say that you were called into the teacher's room yesterday during the club meeting, Keiichi-kun? I know. You didn't go to the teacher's room.
I swallowed hard. It clearly wasn't a bluff. She knew what happened.
You just said you had a guest, didn't she? But you didn't talk at the entrance. You talked inside of the car near the school gate. With some man we don't know.
Rena knew everything. She knew that I was called out by Keiichi-san, and that I heard about the incident with Tomitaka-san as well. Did she know all this?
Exactly who was that man?
I don't know him.
Why did somebody who don't have business with you?
Bird! I want to know that myself.
And what did you talk about?
This voice, it's like it's the Rena voice I've been given her, but the context is like make the voice actor in a slightly different way at the same time, which I suppose is fitting. It's not like her voice has changed drastically. And it even says her tone of voice is kind of remains the same. It's her piercing stare that's changed. It has nothing to do with you guys. It was a lie. It was a lie. It was. Jesus Christ, that face! It's that famous sin! Rena's scream echoed through the trees. Sorry, Rena, I could not do you justice with it. Lies! I can't freaking voice act a female character very loudly like that, with an intense voice. But my god, that's even scarier. Sending frightened birds into the air. Oh, I can exhale a deep breath I had just taken. That is a look of, that's the kind of look that is given like, just like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like she's just looking at Keiichi and just like, you are trash. Just eerie. No, I can exhale a deep breath. I know it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here, I first realized. The person in front of me, she wasn't Rena Ryugu. Then, who was it that who was standing before me now? Who had assumed Rena Ryugu's appearance? I had held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating.
Right?
And then she made a facial expression that Rena normally might have made. It didn't matter that it was Rena's usual smile. It chilled me to the bone. She drew closer to me. I felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was with Rena's face was going to chew my nose right off! I cowered as I imagined that. It's just like, all this creepy stuff, but when you say chew your nose off, just... because of this freaking What Culture channel that I freaking pay attention to, this one guy is just like, well, as catchphrase is like, I'll bite your freaking nose off! Just like imagining that. Just can't take it seriously with that. Then she smirked as if she was able to see right through me.
We also have secrets, just like how Keiichi-kun has secrets.
It was Rena's usual smile, but her eyes were still like that of a hawk's. Bringing her face close enough to mine to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I couldn't auto shake my head. This person standing in front of me, this person who looked like Rena, frightened me to my core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. After what felt like an eternity, after a long, empty silence, she finally spoke.
Let's go. It's getting chilly.
It was Rena again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking as if nothing at all had happened. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me and I slumped onto the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Rena was out of sight. Who was that? I felt cold, my body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought, and asked myself once again, who was that person who looked like Rena Ryugu? Higurashi, when they cry, commercial breaks. It does. Gives off that vibe where it's just like, okay, commercials, we'll be back after commercials. Except there are no commercials here. Unless my videos have ads, I guess, which I don't think most of them do. You know, like how a lot of YouTube, well, there are a number of, not all YouTubers, obviously. With YouTubers, they'll like monetize the videos or something and get money off it. And I've been doing this for bloody freaking years now, and I haven't even done that ever. It's just like, I don't know. So that probably would. Well, I don't watch my own videos on YouTube itself, so I don't know. It's like, if there's mass third-party content, that's the only times I can imagine ads actually appearing on the videos. I don't know. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. Was I terrified from Rena going off on me? No, that's not right. That was someone who only looked like Rena. Then, who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling. knowing that was someone else, not Rena. So tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Rena like I usually do. Where's the logic in that, Keiichi? It's like, no, that wasn't Rena. That was someone who looked like Rena, who's not Rena. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head. Though those thoughts continued swirling around my mind. Finally I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the steps.
Keiichi, it's a call from the bookstore.
Bookstore? Can't think of why they'd be calling me. I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. Ah, yeah. My apologies for calling so late at night. It's me, Oishi of the Okonomiya bookshop. Yeah, that's what it is. I knew it was him, because, like, who else was gonna call from such an odd location? Oishi-san? Oh, it's Oishi-san. Sorry, since your parents picked up, I said I was from the bookstore. It puts people off when I say I'm a police officer. Naturally. Oishi-san was, in his own way, rather cordless, and so I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed back to my room on the second floor. Sorry for calling so late. That phone number on the piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number. My apologies. Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you? Yeah. Okay. He gave me the number for his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up. Why doesn't he just tell him about what he's learned so far, or whatever? So how has it been, my bar-san? Did anything strange happen recently? I see. This was the real reason. He really beat around the bush here. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed. Are you from around here, Oishi-san? Yeah, I am. Born and raised in Hinamizawa. If he's from around here, you might know. Oishi-san, do you know what this Onikakushi thing is about? I believe that's when somebody suddenly vanishes because they've been abducted by a demon. It's a special saying from around here. It has the same meaning as spirited away like everyone else says. I'm real curious if that's in my dictionary anywhere. Well, it wouldn't be, would it? That's an odd phrase. Try to see if we got spirit or spirited or some shit in here. Spirit... Nope. Nope. It isn't in there. Well, might be, but it'd be probably in the other part of the dictionary, and I can't be asked to do that. As my friends would say, they didn't know when I asked. This older man gave me a direct answer. It made me a bit happy that the answer be direct without trying to hide anything. Hinamizawa was, not sure if I should tell you this, my bar-san. Don't try and play this off. If you're not going to talk, then I'm not going to tell you anything. No, that's not what I meant. It's just, it may make you feel bad. You see, long ago, Hinamizawa was feared as the village where demons reside. Demons? By demons, you mean the pitchfork carrying things in hell? More like human-eating monsters. They go down to villages, snatching people up and gobbling them down. That kind of tale. Demons snatching up people is what this Onikakushi really means. It's said that the curse and being demoned away happened to go. What does that mean? I mean, they say that the curse and being demoned away happened to go. What does that mean? I knew about mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row. But I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5 years. Or maybe that was Oishi, I don't know. The curse and being deemed away happened together. First time I've heard of that. Is that how... Oh wait, no, that was him, and it was like, the curse and being deemed away happened together. First time I've heard of that. Is that how it is, my bar-san? That's what I want to know. I heard Rena and Mion talking. They said that if it was really like Shiro-san's curse, then hoped the curse and demoning away would happen. Lucius-san began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind. Barbara-san, you know the first instance. The murder by dismemberment. Yeah, one of the 6 perpetrators is still on the run, right? Hypothetically, what if he isn't on the run but was demoned away? Huh? It was an outrageous hypothesis from Oyushi-san. The incident 4 years ago was the particularly ghastly one. The police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be. Unless the police were completely incompetent. There's always that possibility. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off. Then what about the incident next year? When the man who supported the project and his wife both died in an accident? Well, actually, it was only the husband who died in an accident. His wife's body is never surfaced. Unless we find the body, then it's considered a missing person by law.
You remember when we got those tips? And it showed all the cases. Notice, if you remember, one of them had a case mentioning the Hojo couple, and that is Satoko's last name. Keep that in mind for later on. I don't think we'll learn much about it in this question arc though, but eventually. No spoilers. At the time of the incidents with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police divers had searched every branch off the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end, they weren't able to find her body. But that's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right? Isn't it different from her being demoned away? We cannot say someone is dead without their body. Until a certain number of years pass, by law she's treated as still alive. I'm not sure if it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife is missing. At least that part of reality. How about the 3rd year? The Shinto priest died of illness, and his wife committed suicide. Oibara-san, that's actually the exact same scenario. The wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless marsh deep in the forest around Hinamizawa, meaning it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found a suicide note in front of the marsh. A diver was able to recover a few remnants, but they weren't able to find a body. The investigative headquarters believed that she had faked her death and was still alive somewhere. I'm not sure if we could call all these cases as being deemed away. It's just as you've said, every year one person does go missing. The incident this year, the woman with Tomitaka-san has gone missing. Then, what about the incident with the housewife being to death? Who went missing? I believe the perpetrator was caught, right? Oh wait, no, this is, it's so hard to tell who's blade talking. I believe the perpetrator was caught, right? Yeah, we arrested him. It was just a miscreant with a record of narcotics use. He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different instance. But, well, you see, after he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing. I wonder if this person in question is the character I'm thinking of. I won't say anything more than that, though. It's still under investigation as to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime. But you said you caught him, right? Okay, I was just distracted there. My dad's outside, I don't know, cleaning the floor. I don't know what he's doing. The cat has recently peed there, so maybe that's it. Do we have an accomplice? Yes, it was a cat. The evidence? The pee on the floor. No idea. It's considered a separate case. Moreover, we can't even check now, because while under investigation, that man, he died in his holding cell. Okay, it's not the guy I was thinking of. Swelled a spork and choked to death. A spork? It's not known whether it was an accident or suicide. Meaning for the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one who goes missing. That's about right.
No, actually, I'm surprised as well. I never realized they had that in common. I can believe that this could help lead to the closing of those incidents. It's just something they had in common. Could it be that those demons away have something in common? Oh wait, have something in common, Uchi-san mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events. First year was the dam employee, second year was the wife of the dam project supporter, third year was the wife of the Shindo priest, fourth year was the victim's family's child, and the fifth year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess. It doesn't seem like there's anything that connects them. With the exception of the first year, wives and girlfriends, those two stand out. It does seem like there are a lot. And that means the fourth year's victim's child was different. It would have really stood out if it were all married couples, except it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Didn't Tomitake-san, while he was still alive, tell Keiichi about that case where he said, like... I don't know, maybe I'm remembering wrong, but didn't he say, like, the one who did that one was actually someone who was trying to make the curse seem like a legitimate thing? Just like a copycat kind of thing or something? To an extent, I don't know. Essentially was just like deliberately making the curse seem legit or something. Come to think of it, I believe Tomitake-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly. Child that went missing in the fourth year. Who were they? Apparently he was quite mature, 1 year older than you. Oh. His name was Satoshi Hojo-san. Oh, the second he said that, I was like, oh yeah, I remember now. Wait, hang on. Let's go back. Log. Oh, wait. That would be connected, yeah. Continue. Satoshi? I remember that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year? He was at your school up until last year. Didn't they tell you anything about it? Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Then, where I sat once belonged to the one who was deemed away. It was his seat? I recall the cold sensation that came from that desk. It made my hair stand on end. The string of mysterious F's, no, Oyoshiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. That chilling sensation was the feeling of Oyoshiro-sama caressing the back of my neck. But Keiichi, how does that make sense? I mean, if that's the case, every, one of these years, a person dies and another one is spirited away, technically that's already happened for the year, man. Oyoshiro-sama's curse, huh? Could Oyoshiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to bleed, and I was scared. It was why I always wanted to say it was a plot crafted by man and not the work of a curse. But the more I dug into it, the less likely that seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging, eventually, I'd reached the point where I'd learned something I really shouldn't learn. Get some Lovecraftian shit or something. Try to be none the wiser or to seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happy with? Maybe it will be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. That was when I remembered. Rena. Rena said she may be the next victim of this curse. The curse. You mean Rena Ryuga-san? She transferred in last year and she's your classmate, isn't she? These incidents really might be a bit too disturbing for a girl. She's not just scared, is she? It wasn't that. She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it. It felt like she was convinced. It was as if, you could say, she was frightened. The sudden change in Demna. That someone who looked like Rena but wasn't Rena. That might be unrelated. All the strange things that I felt from Rena today came back to me. I see. Then I'll be doing a bit of investigating on this end. Please continue your observations of Rena-san, Maibara-san. Are you asking me to keep Rena under surveillance? That's not what I mean, Maibara-san. I just want you to watch out for your friend so she doesn't end up the next victim. At that moment, just as my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. No. Can't do a knock-knock sound like that. Chair? No, it doesn't work. Okay, side of the chair. No. My amp? Yeah, that's more of a knocking sound. A sudden knock at the door sent my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver.
Keiichi, get the door, please. On the other side of the door.
Keiichi, get the door, please. God damn it, read the next line before your voice acts. On the other side of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. Keiichi, get to the door, please. What could it be? It's so late. Sorry, my dad just came in. Can we leave it at this for the night?
Oh man, I'm so tempted to continue on the plot, man. Shit's getting interesting.
I know I've read this in the past and all, but still. Besides, I said originally I was only just going to record for like under 20 minutes, but that famous scene popped up and I was like, no. There's another famous scene coming up as well. But I'll save that for whenever I record next, I guess. So I'll see you next time, burritos. Now, see you next time, viewers. See you next time.